just as I got everything ready, because I knew my cabinets went all the way to the ceiling, I tore off the front, and they don't. And I've already made cuts and everything, so I can't adjust that. So that throws a little wrench into the gears. But I think I'll still be all right. Maybe just a few more dollars. And I'm made. I found when I tore off some of the front drywall that the cabinets don't go all the way to the ceiling, as you can tell. And there wasn't enough of the exposed cabinet to nail the stud to, so I had to buy some 3-inch plywood, or actually cedar or something to put up there. So I cut that and I've nailed it to some of the upright pieces. And then on the front of that I've started nailing the track, making sure it's level. And hopefully I'll have all that done within a couple days, or today, and I can start on nailing it to the ceiling also. Attach the track to the ceiling on the side wall and the back wall. And now I'm going to start hanging the metal studs down, hopefully as firm as I can. I'm not really sure how well that's going to go, but it's starting to take shape anyways. Although I did find out that I don't think the back wall is actually straight. There seems to be a dip and curve in it, so we'll see how it turns out. That's the frame work, kind of, and I put on the bottom pieces of the drywall. I haven't marked the spots for the lights yet, except for on the bottom track. On the inside, I marked it where I want them, and I'll be able to start cutting those out tomorrow. And I bought the housings, and I bought the baffles, and I plan on putting it up tomorrow. One about almost, well, actually a little bit left of center on the stove, one about a little right of center on that middle cabinet, one centered on the sink, and then one right to the right of center of the refrigerator. And hopefully, and I thought about putting a light in over the sink because there was one there, the light back, but I think with that one light, the recessed light, it'll be fine. So hopefully everything will go a little bit, it'll go okay, put it that way. And that's about it. 10 days after starting, I got the canisters installed, the wiring, and I put the lights up inside to check the wiring. I got it wired to the old wiring where the light above the sink used to be. I got the canister installed, like I said, and wired up. The wiring runs down the wall and to the switch, which it was a single switch. I made it into a double, one for the garbage disposal and one for the light, the dimmer switch. Now, just a moment, and we'll have our try out here. Okay, let's see how it works. Just kidding. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Looks pretty good. Let's try it with the lights off. Oh. Oh. Notice I have my fire extinguisher just in case my wiring wasn't that good.
Ooh.
I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to change the color of the cabinets. Alright. Let's see if I can turn them off without killing myself. Ooh. Ooh. As you can see, I've put up the bottom panel above the sink, the side pieces, the end piece, and I've screwed it all in. I'm ready to start filling over the screws and putting the joint compound in the corners, all that kind of stuff. As you can see, there's a little bit of the ceiling bulges, There and there. I guess I could have probably got it a little closer there. I'm going to fill it in as close as I can with joint compound and see what happens. And I picked out a color, but I don't imagine you'd be able to see it on the tape, so I won't even bother showing you. It's called Lily something or other. Lily Dew, Anthony reminds me. Anyways, so that's where I'm at, and as you can tell, that blue is lovely, but and it matches so well with the stove and refrigerator, but I think I will have to get rid of it. Anyways, that's where I'm at, and it'll be continued in another segment of home improvement or whatever. Good morning, and I've started my taping, as you can see, and a little bit under the thing. I gotta sand that down and redo a little bit of that, and then I'm gonna put the corner bead on this afternoon, well, pretty soon actually, and the corner beads all around, and I might start the mudding on the side. As you may be able to see, I'm continuing the mud process here. This is my second coat along the bottom with a 12-inch knife. It's not feathered, but I think it'll be alright once I sand down everything. The front, that doesn't look too bad, really. I don't think. I just done the side. I still got this side and the bottom to do. Smooth out a lot of the cracks and things like that. But it's coming along fine. And hopefully it'll only be another year or two before I finish. And as I started to sand, I started thinking, well, instead of repainting your cabinets, I would try to use some of that chemical stuff to take the paint off. And as I started that, it'd come off the end pretty good. I mean, they're still a little in the grain, but once it sands down, I think it would be okay. So I started the front edge. I'm going to do this small cabinet here and see how it turns out. And if it turns out okay, I'm sanded down the drywall, as you may not be able to see. And I'm getting ready to put the primer on, the PVC primer. And it looks okay. Hopefully I can finish the cabinets this year. But it looks pretty good, I think. One coat of primer and then the paint. I think I'm going to go ahead and paint the orangish color. Coat a sealer on and patched up the parts in the wall where I messed it up. Sealed up around the edges, and I'm getting ready to paint. And while I was getting ready to paint, I thought, well, you know, here's the beams I had told you about, Brian. See the paint splatters and everything. I thought, well, before I paint, if I paint, I was going to paint the whole wall, the kitchen wall. If I paint up against it, you know, it'll still be rotten beams. So I decided, well, I'll take it off and see what's underneath. And I found out. And here I go into another part of this project. It's going to probably cost me a fortune, but I'm going to see what I can do about the beams. Anyways, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm getting ready. I'm still going to paint today, but I need to see about the beams, so that's where I am right now. See, I don't know if you can, well, the post, lovely. And it used to have some stuff all around here, and I ripped all that off. And I thought it was a 4x4 up there, but it happens to be two 2x4s nailed together. And it goes down. Now the wall goes all the way down the house to the back bedroom, but obviously doesn't go through the back bedroom. So I don't think it's a load-bearing wall, because it also, my carport outside, it doesn't go, you know, out into my carport. So I don't think it is. The 4x4s are not attached by lag bolts from the top. I know that. They're probably just nailed in from the bottom, from the top of the first 2x4. And I cannot figure out how they are attached on the bottom here, because I can't see at all where they were attached. But what I hope to do is knock that out so I have a clear opening between my living room and kitchen. As you can see, there's the post. And the reason I even got into that was because that wall right there is not level, and to level that out before I paint it my color. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I showed you the bulkhead or not, but there it is. I haven't put that back on yet. But anyways, to paint the rest of the kitchen, I want to level that wall out first, and then before I level that, I want to get rid of that stuff and knock out these and tear down my house and rebuild totally from scratch. But anyways, so there it is, and we'll see how it moves. Anyways, piece of drywall I have to take out and I've taken the posts out and I put in my header, 2x10 all the way across, excuse me, 2x10 all the way across, treated, half-inch piece of plywood in between, 2 4x4 beams, treated on the ends. The beams come out pretty easy. There's holes in the floor. I'm going to have to carpet it and linoleum it, but that'll be okay. And I've attached it with the plates, and it looks like it's coming along okay. Makes the house look bigger, kinda. Just with those 2 posts missing. Go down the hall a little bit. Looks a little bit bigger to me anyways. It'll look okay, I think. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. There's my overhang. Where the door, I've torn out the drywall where the door used to be. And I'm gonna put another piece in there to correct with half-inch drywall, I should say. I'm also gonna put a support up and down, I believe, in there. And then I'm gonna start drywalling around the beams and things like that. But hopefully it won't cost too much more. Yeah, right.